Okay, so this is one of the big projects that's been taking up some of my time. I was going to do a complete set of build videos for this thing, but ended up doing the bulk of it while my dad was here, and he wasn't too keen on being in the YouTube channel. It was kind of hard to build it and keep him out of it, and video it and keep him out of it. So I still got a bit of finishing of it to do. I still have to pull it all apart, so you get to kind of see how we built it then. But basically, this is my tool skid. It's just over 7.5 feet long. The bed of my truck is 8 feet exactly. So, not exactly. I think it's 8'1" and a tiny bit, depending on where you measure it to. And between the wheel wells in the bed in the tray is almost exactly 48 inches. So basically, this is about 7.5 by 48, 7.5 feet by 48 inches wide. Down here on the front, we got 2 fork pockets. So that front piece is a piece of a 2 by 3 angle, and then behind those fork pockets is some 6 by 3 square tubing behind those holes that we cut out with the plasma, and that's basically so I can lift it in and out. This is the tailgate end, and that's the cab end down there. Lift it in and out with the Bobcat. So basically I put it in here, load it up with whatever tools I need for a job, and then lift it out with the Bobcat and slide it straight into the back of the truck, all pre-packed with everything I need in it. So the big toolbox here is for big stuff like power tools. The big air compressor will actually fit in there, but I don't plan on putting it in there. Mostly just all the cordless tools go in there, and circular saws and sawzalls and whatever else I need for a specific job. Those orange things on the side, they're really actually just there to tie stuff down on top of it, ladders or whatever, just something to hook the ratchet straps onto. So I can even preload all of that in here and put it on the back. Eventually I'm actually going to have a fold down workbench, which is attached to it here, down on the bottom here. It'll have 2 slide hinges on either side, so when it's flipped up, it'll be up against the front of the toolbox there, and leave those 2 exposed, and then when it's in the truck I can fold it down and it'll basically come out just past the tailgate of the truck. It'll have a 2-inch receiver on it that I can put a vise onto, or I don't know, make some other accessories that can go into the 2-inch receiver. We'll put it on this side over here, on the right hand side, because I'm right handed, so when I'm using a saw or something I can go off the side of the bench. That's part of the build process. So you can see this is 1/4 inch by 3 by 3 angle for the side rails. It's pretty heavy duty stuff. Coming to the middle here, Jesus, it's dark in here. Can't see anything. Let's get some better lights. I think I need to replace that fluoro up there. But there's a gap in here. It's the full width. We've got other fork pockets back here. That's where they end. So the Bobcat forks finish in the middle of these pockets. So when I flip up the forks on the Bobcat, they come in and they come halfway across, and then when I push up with them, it's pushing right on the center of that, and that's welded in. There's a piece of angle underneath it, and then a piece of square tubing behind it. And then I'm going to put some fairly heavy expanded metal in here. And then the air compressor can get ratchet strapped onto it. Generator, if I need a generator for the job. I'm going to build some, I guess call them towers, up here that I can hang extension cords and air hoses and stuff on. I may eventually bring this out over the side of the truck, over the side of the bed rails, and put some toolboxes that you can access from the side. But I'll probably do that down this end here, so I still have access to these 2 toolboxes here. They've got the retainer in there, but it's pretty crappy, so I'm going to make another bar that goes all the way across the 2 of them in the middle. The weight of the stuff that's in those drawers. As you can see here, what's in them: markers and blades, screwdrivers, wrenches, pliers and snips, tape measures, squares and stuff in that one. And over on that side there's caulking, hardware, nuts and bolts and stuff. I'll probably change around what's in all of these now. This came out of my cargo trailer, which is now my hunting trailer. I don't do big jobs anymore. These are just small runabout jobs. So then I've got the aluminum truck box in the back of the ute. So I can't use the full 8 feet because the truck box, but it doesn't come all the way down to the bed. It hangs on the side. So there's about 10 inches. I think we marked it on the side here. Yeah, between this here and this line on the side of the box will fit. The bottom of the truck box is here, so it comes up, and the top of the bed's up here somewhere. My dad wrote something on the side here. High side lifting point. Don't know what he meant by that. But I'm thinking in this space here, it's not real big, it's maybe 12 inches, 30 centimeters. And it's underneath the truck box, so you can't really access it when it's in there either. Where I've got an old compressor, just a little hot dog compressor, a little tiny one, but I've got 2 extra air tanks off a bigger one. So I'm thinking of mounting all of that on here and just having it come to a couple of air fittings on the front somewhere, and I'll be able to store quite a bit of air under there, and I don't need to access that. I'll just have it on a pressure switch, so as long as it's plugged in, the compressor will run if it gets demand. This was one of the main features. Anyone who knows me knows that my wife's family build matting, oil field matting, rig mats, and they have these ends on them. Look something similar to this. So we made this kind of cool. This was kind of to impress my father-in-law. Me and my dad built this up. It's not finished yet. It's a roll end. Anyone who works in oil field will recognize this is the end of anything with skids on it. And this is basically my tool skid. So we made this. I eventually got to do a winch rack in the back of the truck, which will be another build video. I'm actually starting to get really excited about that one and getting some of the gear together to build that. And this will be so I can, even if I don't have the Bobcat, everything will be secure enough on here that I'll be able to winch it in. So that's one that we got to do a bit of work on. I need to get that piece of expanded metal. That's the next piece for this. And also I'm going to fill in those fork pockets. I'm going to run some pieces of flat bar between these ones and the ones underneath the box here. I did pick it up once, and the forks ended up on top of those, and then the whole thing just pivoted on the front ones, so I do need to fill those in. But watching these videos, you'll learn that I'm pretty cheap. Like I said, my in-laws build oil field matting, so I get quite a bit of scrap metal from them, but the vast majority of the metal that I use in my projects comes from the dump. I just pick it up for free off the metal pile there. Let's see. This tripod that I film off of came from the dump. Those orange things, they're an old round bale horse for feeding horses, an old round bale holder. I've got 4 more of those. They came from the dump. The long pieces of angle iron, they came from a building site. They're actually ledger for building bricks on brick siding on. That square tubing down there, that was off a satellite dish, a big satellite dish mount that I took off the roof of a building. That piece of pipe for the end roll came from the dump. The expanded metal came from the dump. Yeah, a lot of stuff comes from the dump. My favorite sewing machine, that came from the dump. That little step ladder there came from the dump. Yeah, I don't like to buy anything. That toolbox over there, that Stanley toolbox, it's got a big crack in the bottom of it, but I've just put a piece of plywood in to cover it up. Came from the dump. Nothing wrong with it apart from that. You'll find lots of stuff I got from the dump. I like the dump. Try and get there once a week. So yeah, so that's going to be that build video. Will be coming along here pretty soon. Just finishing that guy off.